I want the veteran community to be, more educated so that they can make better decisions and truly invest in themselves and their future, because it's an unbelievable opportunity to acquire a piece of real estate for zero money down, which is what I did in 2010. And, it's, paved the way for me to do what I've done in the real estate space and to where I am today. I wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for that great benefit. And I want to make sure as many of my brothers and sisters as possible are using it correctly.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Tell me how that happens. So for instance, many of them will not go down the path of being a real estate investor. They won't do that. But for those that do, how can you use the VA benefits to your advantage?
I mean, it's very simple. If you think about what you pay for rent every year, which the majority of people do, right? It goes up every year. That's how we make money in apartment buildings, right? It's 3%. It's in the pro forma. The fees are going up. Everything's going up along with inflation, or even, ahead of inflation. So that's one path. You can do that over a 20-year military career, and you get out, goose egg. You get a nice place to live for those 20 years, and thank you. Have a nice day. If you buy a home or two or three or four, by properly leveraging the VA loan and beyond, not only are you locking in your rent for however long you care to stay in the home. What I mean by that is your mortgage is not going to go up. You lock it in for $1,500 today, and it's going to be $1,500 29 years from now. Guess what rent's going to do between now and then? Yeah, exactly. So that's one hedge against inflation. It makes your income work harder for you. But in addition to that, if you think about a 30-year mortgage, I'm simplifying it a little bit, but you're paying off almost 3% of your principal every year. In the start of your loan, obviously it's less, they front load the interest. But if you're talking about 10, 15, 20 years of home ownership, every year you're knocking down serious, amounts of principal. It's sort of like a forced savings plan. So I'm of the opinion that if you do nothing else, if you buy a home, use your VA loan, you do it properly. And to me, that means you're not paying retail. You're looking for, some things that might be a little bit of sweat equity. Maybe you need to do a paint job yourself. Maybe you need to do the floors yourself. But if it, means $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in equity, do it. And
all right, let me ask you some specifics. One of them you already mentioned, which is a 0% down mortgage. So people getting, veterans can get a 0 down mortgage. I mean, do they have to pay PMI, or like what's the?
That's the other gift. That's the other gift. So we're getting a little technical here, but PMI.
Yeah, no, let's get technical. Yeah. I'm going to get even more technical in a moment.
Cool. Yeah, private mortgage insurance is something that you would have to pay on a conventional loan or on a FHA or other government-backed loan until you achieve a 20% equity position. So the bank or the government's willing to do 80%. And if you have 20% equity, then there's no private mortgage insurance. If you are not to that point, they will charge you this fee that basically guarantees if you go bust, it's a pot of money that's going to make the lender and or the government whole. The Veterans Administration funds that PMI for you. So you as the veteran, the service member, you're not seeing PMI. So the difference between a VA loan and an FHA loan, even though the FHA is only 3.5% down, you say, well, no big deal, right? It is a big deal because it could be hundreds of dollars more per month on your mortgage.
For nothing, gone out the window.
For nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What kind of property can I buy with a VA loan?
So yeah, it's a common misconception around what you can do with the VA loan. It has to be what you intend to be your primary residence. So that's going to be a single family home, a condo, or a small multifamily. So a duplex, triplex, or quad. Anything bigger than a quad is considered commercial, which would not be eligible for multifamily. There's some people that go the renovation route with VA. It's got some more red tape, but I've heard some people successfully doing that. I never have. I've heard people trying to use it for new construction.
Well, what do you mean by rehab?
They came out with a product to sort of mirror the FHA 203K loan, and I don't remember the letters associated with the VA. Basically something where you can, submit a list of improvements you'd like to do on the property, and they'll fund them up to a certain amount of money. That's so cool. You can create your own equity. But it sounds like it's pretty laden with red tape, I've never done it. And, you know, I've heard some good stories, some not so good stories about it. So I can't really comment.
Okay, so
depth
let's say I actually have one prospective student. He and I just have spoken, where he's almost 20 years. He's about to retire, but he's purchased a bunch of quads using the VA loan. How many VA loans can a veteran get at one time?
2.
Oh, okay, really? And it could be 2 quads?
So, but you can't do it 2 at the same time. So I want to buy this quad in Norfolk. I buy it, right? I live there for a period of time, you know, the exact amount I'm not totally sure on, but I intend to live there. I do live there. And then I decide I want to go do something else. It's easiest if you're being transferred, because if you're going to go do another quad in the same market, the VA is going to say, wait a second, why are you moving from one end of the street to the other end of the street? They might flag it. But if you're moving from, say, Norfolk to Jacksonville, Florida, and then you want to do another quad, you can do a VA loan. It's called your second tier entitlement. You can do it twice, once in your life. And then you would have to sell off both of those or refinance both of those to use the VA loan again.